Good day, everybody. It's Andrew here, and welcome back to my channel. We've got some huge updates today regarding stimulus checks for seniors, the next stimulus package, where negotiations stand today, and what Joe Manchin is saying regarding inflation and how he thinks that's going to affect getting the stimulus package done before Christmas. So let's discuss the details, but before we jump into it, do me a quick favor, hit like, hit subscribe, and share this channel with anyone who you think might find this helpful. This is a community for seniors and those who are disabled, and my job here is to be a voice for you to make sure that President Biden is keeping his word to increase Social Security benefits, increase SSI, increase SSDI and VA benefits, and even approve a stimulus check for seniors. All of these things are things he promised on the campaign trail. So this is your December 11th update on the next stimulus package and stimulus checks for seniors on Social Security, SSI, and SSDI. So let's jump right into it, folks. But first, let's do a quick update on daily trending news. It's going to be about 2 to 3 minutes, and then we'll jump right into the stimulus and Social Security updates. First of all, we've got some really sad news that there was an Amazon warehouse where the roof collapsed, and it looks like dozens of people are either trapped, injured, or potentially even passed away. Now, this goes to add even more drama to the Amazon company, as they've been under fire for years for improper working conditions, harsh working conditions, not enough pay, and now things like this happen. It just really makes you question, like, hey, is Jeff Bezos the second richest person in the planet? Is he really taking care of his employees? Is he really investing the money where he should be? I mean, we have the second richest man on the planet, but yet he's got his warehouses collapsing on his employees. It's shocking. And honestly, our thoughts and prayers go out to the families of anyone that's been affected by this, guys. And also some news on stimulus. A lot of people were using stimulus as fraud to get millions of dollars, and now a lot of them are going to jail. There's actually a former NFL wide receiver. He actually played for the Chicago Bears, which is where I'm from. I'm here living in Chicago right now. His name was Joshua Bellamy, and he was a wide receiver for the Chicago Bears. And he did PPP fraud, which was the Paycheck Protection Program, and he got $1.2 million. And these are forgivable loans, folks. So as long as you show that you use that money to pay your employees, you never have to pay it back. So just think about this. All we're asking for is a $2,000 stimulus check for seniors and people on Social Security. And they're like, no, we can't afford it. It's going to cost $500 billion. It's way too much. But then remember, we had businesses and even fraudulent businesses like this getting $1.2 million. My goodness. It just goes to show you that even though people were getting like $1,200 stimulus checks, $600 stimulus checks, businesses were getting millions of dollars, right? So as always, the regular people, the good folks who pay taxes, got the shorter end of the stick, right? This is why we keep saying, like, these stimulus checks were not enough. And this guy in particular is one of the people that was doing fraud. So he said he had a business that either was fraudulent or not profitable, or a shell company basically just put there to get the money. And yeah, so he took the 1.2 million. Now it looks like he's going to jail for 3 years. So good riddance, because it's people like this that actually prevented other people from getting stimulus checks, right? Because with billions of dollars in fraud, all of that money could have been used to give people stimulus checks. Okay, just one more update on daily trending news, and then we'll jump right into stimulus and Social Security benefits. A 4-day work week has just been proposed by progressives. Now, progressives introduced a 4-day work week bill. Is this the answer to the Great Resignation? It's kind of complicated, but bottom line here, they're saying that 5 days a week shouldn't be the standard. We should have a 4-day work week, and anything above that should be considered overtime. This would allow people to have a work-life balance. It would allow people to still work the 5 days if they want and get paid overtime, but also put more of a value on people's time. Like, hey, you work 40 hours a week, you drive to and from work, you've got a family to take care of, you're stretched so thin. Nowadays, the American people are stretched thinner than ever. So that's kind of saying, hey, if you want people to work the full 5 days, you're going to have to pay them a premium for their time. And quite frankly, I strongly agree with this idea. It can be complicated, of course. There's going to be unintended consequences. Companies always try and find ways to get around it. But in general, the bottom line here is it puts a premium on your time. So regular American people's time would be valued more, and companies would have to pay them overtime for that, anything over 4 days per week. Now, personally, I think this is an amazing idea, and let me know in the comments if you agree. Now, as far as stimulus, Social Security benefits, what's happening in the White House, and what we expect to happen next, let's take a look at a couple of factors. First of all, we have Joe Manchin, then we have inflation coming in worse than expected, and at the same time, we have President Biden worried that his polls are so bad that Democrats are going to lose control of the House and the Senate next year, and then we're not going to get any more stimulus done because Republicans are going to be in control. Now, don't hate me in the comments for saying that about Republicans, but let's be clear here. Democrats want to do some stimulus at least for the American people. Republicans, quite honestly, don't. So let's be clear here. Whether you vote Democrat or Republican, at this point where we're at, Democrats are really the only ones trying to do stimulus and even considering stimulus checks for seniors. Now, the White House is freaking out because if they don't control inflation, they're not going to get reelected next year. And then President Biden is going to be a sitting duck. He's going to be a Democratic president, but with a House and a Senate controlled by Republicans. So, basically nothing will get done for the next 2 years, especially stimulus. And a lot of people are saying, like, hey, if we get the stimulus checks for seniors, it's going to help seniors deal with inflation, and then seniors will vote for Democrats and they'll win those seats next year. Then other people like Joe Manchin are saying, well, wait, if we have inflation, we can't pump more money into the economy. It makes no sense. But folks, they're always pumping money into the economy. Right now, we have the Federal Reserve Bank, buying billions of dollars in bonds in the stock market every single month. Like, don't be fooled. With all of the stimulus checks that we sent, there has been 10 times more spent on other things, 10 times more spent on the stock market, on the bond market, on giving companies millions and billions of dollars. But now they want to draw the line when it comes to giving stimulus checks for seniors, right? It doesn't make sense at all. And in my opinion, if they approve the stimulus checks for seniors and they increase Social Security benefits as promised, there's a good chance Democrats are going to maintain control, especially when you take into account that seniors are the largest voting population in this country, right? They vote in droves. You guys are one of the main reasons why President Biden won the election in 2020. So with having such a big group of voters, take care of seniors, take care of SSI and SSDI, take care of VA benefits, and President Biden, you will maintain control of the House and the Senate next year, but you have to get these things done. Now, of course, if you follow my videos, you know that Bernie Sanders has been trying to do a $1,000 debit card for seniors, aka a stimulus check, to be used anywhere where Visa is accepted. And we expect this to include anyone on Social Security, SSI, SSDI, and VA benefits as well, and everyone on Medicare to help them pay for medical expenses. Now, although Bernie Sanders has said this would be to cover medical expenses, we expect you to be able to use it anywhere Visa is accepted, similar to stimulus checks. Stimulus checks were intended to help you pay your bills, but technically you could use it on whatever you wanted. You could use it for savings. You could use it to buy a car. Most people use it to pay their bills, but quite frankly, you weren't forced to. So same idea here. You probably wouldn't be forced to use it on medical expenses because that kind of thing is really difficult to enforce even if you wanted to. So with Bernie Sanders trying to include the stimulus check for seniors, now just yesterday, the inflation data came out. So every month we have something called the CPI, which is the Consumer Price Index, and basically measures how much inflation has increased or decreased month over month and year over year. So that data compared November to October of this year, and it also compared November to November of last year, 2020. And overall, inflation increased by 6.8% compared to last year, and people are freaking out. And we all know this, right? We're all paying more for gas. We're paying more for food. We're paying more for rent. And seniors are affected by inflation the most. When you have seniors on a fixed income, you can't really get a raise. Sure, you'll get a COLA increase, but we know it's never enough. And then when you have people who are younger, they can get raises, they can switch jobs, they can get side hustles, they can get part-time jobs. But you have seniors who have worked their entire lives. They've been putting into the Social Security tax for 30, 40, 50 years. Now they have to live on a fixed income. It's like, hey, I've worked my entire life. This is my time to enjoy my twilight years. This is my time to relax, spend time with my family, and get my monthly benefit that should allow me to live in a life of dignity. But then we have seniors, even I've had a lot of comments of people who even get $1,500 per month, $1,800 per month, which is higher than most people. And they say, Andrew, you know what? That used to be enough. But now with inflation, these people are struggling too. So more and more people on Social Security are struggling because inflation has been so bad, and seniors don't really have a good way of increasing their income. This is why, specifically, when we have inflation, seniors should be getting a stimulus check or just a permanent increase in Social Security benefits. And let me know in the comments if you agree. Now, the problem is Joe Manchin is currently digging in, and he's saying with inflation being so bad, we should pause and wait and see what happens, see if we can control inflation before we do more stimulus. But then we have Chuck Schumer, who has said he wants to get the stimulus check package done by Christmas. So that gives us about 11 days, right? And previously he actually said he wanted to bring it to a vote by December 13th. So if you look on your screen, this coming Monday is December 13th, and that was originally when he wanted to bring it to a vote in the Senate. But now we have President Biden saying he's not sure if he's going to be able to get Joe Manchin on board. He literally was asked, do you think you're going to get Joe Manchin to vote for the Build Back Better stimulus package? And President Biden quite frankly said, nope, I'm not sure. He didn't say no, he didn't say yes. But Joe Manchin is still holding out. And honestly, he's even more emboldened than ever. With inflation coming back high, he's using that as an excuse to not give stimulus check for seniors. Now, President Biden was asked on Friday if he thinks Joe Manchin will vote for this package, and he said he doesn't know if he can get West Virginia Democratic Senator Joe Manchin on board to support his stimulus check package, but he expects to speak with him about the legislation next week as the Senate moves closer to its holiday recess. When asked whether he could lock down Joe Manchin's support, given the West Virginia's concerns about inflation, President Biden said, well, I don't know the answer to that. I'm going to be talking to him at the beginning of the week. So that means at the beginning of this coming week, we should have huge updates from Joe Manchin and President Biden regarding where negotiations stand. So don't forget to subscribe, and I will keep you posted as things develop. Now, of course, Joe Manchin has been trying to take things out of this package for months, and a couple of things he took out was the fact that Medicare was supposed to be expanded to include vision, dental, and hearing care, and now it looks like it's only going to include hearing, and they took vision and dental out. Now, he's been getting a lot of heat for that because specifically in West Virginia, where he's from, there is a large percentage of seniors who need dentures. And if you look on your screen, this map shows you a chart of every state in this country and what percentage of seniors need a full denture set. Like all of their teeth need to be replaced. It says West Virginia leads the country in the percentage of adults aged 65 and older who have lost all of their teeth because of tooth decay or gum disease. So this isn't just like you need one or two teeth. This is you need a full denture set, which can run anywhere between $3,000 and $10,000. And you see the darker the blue is, the higher the percentage of seniors who need a full set of dentures. And you see West Virginia, 26% of seniors over 65 need a full set of dentures. That is over 1 in every 4 seniors in his state need a full set of dentures, folks. And I can guarantee you that the seniors in West Virginia, most of them cannot afford to pay $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 for a set of dentures. And I mean, like I said, these are people who have worked their entire lives. They've paid into the system. They're on Social Security benefits. They're on Medicare. And now, after paying into the Medicare tax their whole lives, they can't even get dentures. They can't even put teeth in their mouth to eat. I mean, it's completely unfathomable. And West Virginia has the highest percentage of seniors who need this help. And Joe Manchin got it taken out. I mean, it's completely insane. But with that said, folks, Bernie Sanders continues to fight to try and get this included in the next stimulus package. He's trying to get stimulus checks for seniors included, which would include SSI and SSDI as well. He's trying to get the Medicare expansions included, and he continues to fight to eventually get Social Security benefits permanently increased as well. So guys, thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. I will keep you posted as things develop. Now, to end this video, I'm going to leave you with a couple of clips. First, from Bernie Sanders, discussing the fact that he's fighting for seniors who who need dental coverage included in this package, as well as a clip on inflation, why it's so high, and the fact that the government thinks that if they can lower prices on gas and energy and food, they can try and, for the most part, control inflation going forward. So if you want to stick around, let's take a look. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you on the next video.
Here is the story, very simple story, is that right now, for the last 55 years, since Medicare was developed in 1965, it has not included coverage for dental care, hearing aids, and eyeglasses. And I can tell you, in Vermont and all over this country, you got senior citizens whose teeth are rotting in their mouths, older people who can't talk to their grandchildren because they can't hear them because they can't afford a hearing aid, and people who can't read a newspaper because they can't afford glasses. So to say that dental care and hearing aids and eyeglasses should be a part of Medicare makes all the sense in the world. Second of all, we're going to pay for this. This is a pay for. Right now, as I think every American understands, we pay the highest prices in the world for prescription drugs. We're getting ripped off every day by the pharmaceutical industry, who in some cases charges us 10 times more for the same drug that's sold in Canada or in other countries. So what we want to do is what the American people want to do. We want to negotiate prescription drug prices with the industry through Medicare. When you do that, you save about $500 billion, and that can cover the cost of dental care, eyeglasses, and hearing aid under Medicare, as well as lowering the eligibility age to 60. That's what we have to do. We have a pay for that.
So when it comes to higher prices, I mean, look, we can all attest to that. We've seen it in different areas. What does this report tell us?
I mean, these are the numbers that really quantify the gut punch for American consumers, right? That gut punch that feels like it really peaked there in November. 6.8% is a big number. I mean, you're going all the way back to the 80s when, you know, Stevie Wonder and Ebony and Ivory was atop of the charts, right? We were wearing clogs and satin jackets. I mean, this is something we have not seen in modern times, numbers like this. And you look at a line chart of inflation and you can see this is the worst in years, and certainly the most meaningful price inflation we've seen in our recent memory. You strip out food and energy, and this growth rate is 4.9% year over year, and half a percent just for the month from October to November. And it has been energy driving much of this. You've seen that. We've talked about gas prices, and those prices have been moderating in the past few weeks, which is why some economists are saying they think this might be the worst. You can see that you had some really sharp core rates earlier in the year, and that appears like it might be moderating a little bit here. We also know that the shortages, because of supply concerns, we're hearing from CEOs, and we're hearing from the White House, and we're hearing from supply chain managers that they're starting to see how those are going to work themselves out. But demand is strong. I mean, this is a sign of a really strong economy, guys. People are rushing out all at the same time to buy the stuff they want after we've been in a huge pandemic.
Well, what portion of this, Christine, are energy prices? Gas, home heating oil, natural gas for home heating? Because we know that is trending downward, at least based on where the markets stand today.
Yeah, and that's rear view mirror. I think it's a really good point that you're making there, Jim, because we know that you had 30, 40, 50% increases in your energy costs year over year the last few months, and we know that is now moderating. So hopefully that energy part of inflation, consumer inflation, is not going to be as big of a deal heading into the end of the year. Look, and the Fed is in inflation fighting mode right now. They've dropped that word transitory or temporary. Yeah. They are preparing. The Fed is the inflation fighter. It's not the White House. It's not business. It's the Fed, and the Fed is in inflation fighting mode. Will be ending early, probably a lot of its stimulus, and eventually will start raising interest rates because it's a strong economy. They're going to have to tap on the brakes.